New York, United States. Well, I work with the police in America. I came here to meet a woman, but this country blows my mind. The police here, they're just as corrupt as everybody else. My son is responsible for that because he put me on Instagram, because he said, to be cool, you have to be on Instagram, which I thought was so funny. He said, Pops, you're not cool because you're not on Instagram. So we made up an Instagram account, and lo and behold, 6 months later, I have all these African women. You're right, and I've been there, and Abdi is useless. I know Abdi. Yes. Personally.
In the US, at various times, many police officers hang up their boots, badges, and step into a very different life from the one they've lived for decades. This becomes their time for reflection, new hobbies, and more quality time with family. But would you believe it if I told you a 63-year-old retired police officer who ended up in Africa after retirement, not for a holiday or adventure, but because he fell in love with a lady he met on social media? Yes, you heard me right. This man traveled a long way to see his girlfriend, but when he arrived, he realized that he made a big mistake. How did a smart former police officer get convinced by a lady to leave his family? What made him regret going there? When I was in Kenya, I met Frank, and he is ready to share his story.
Yeah, my name is Franck Keller. I'm from New York, United States. Also, my hometown I lived in for many years, Emerson, New Jersey. Well, I worked with the police in America, and for 30 years. It was my passion to help people. It wasn't because of the money. I'm retired now. I worked 30 years for the government. I'm the type of man, because I'm a Christian, that I believe in serving the disadvantaged and the preyed upon, exactly like has happened to me here in Kenya, unfortunately.
Frank spent his early years feeling a strong sense of responsibility and love for his country. This feeling made him want to become a part of the police force in the United States. He did a great job in his work and was promoted to captain before he retired, showing he was really good at his job. After working for over 30 years, Frank retired. But there's a question. Why did he end up in Africa when he had a family and a comfortable life back home, especially when it was the perfect time for him to relax after working so hard for so long?
I came here to meet a woman because I had gotten a divorce. My son is responsible for that because he put me on Instagram, because he said, to be cool, you have to be on Instagram, which I thought was so funny. He said, Pops, you're not cool because you're not on Instagram. So we made up an Instagram account, and lo and behold, 6 months later, I have all these African women. I don't know how they saw me, but they like the way I look or talk, or my pictures, I guess. They could tell I'm a man of God because there's some church pictures of me and some pictures of me in the gym. And there's a large amount of women, especially from Nigeria and Ghana, where I heard the scammers ask me for plane tickets. Crazy, and I'm smart enough from my background not to fall for such foolishness. I've heard a lot of European guys from like UK and Germany, wherever, fall for that. They even have families, leave their families to come to Mombasa for the sex trade in Mombasa. Have sex here for a week in Mombasa. Yeah. I don't know, I guess it's true, I've heard it, and I've been there, and it looked pretty obvious to me, and being a trained policeman, that it was a big sex trade, and I heard some of them, girls have told me, and then get a bunch of young girls for sex and pay their money and fly back to their family and have a family, their wife and kids, like it was nothing. So I'm not a judgmental person. I came anyway because I was retired and I had been divorced 3 years. I said, why not? I didn't know what to expect. My family, my kids, who were 28, 26, said, you're crazy, Dad. You don't even know where you're going. What if you get killed over there? I said, you know me. I have no fears of anything. Man, beast, whatever. Why? It says in the Bible, well, what can man do to me? Nothing. He can only kill the body, not the soul.
He flew to Kenya to meet a girl he had been chatting with on social media. Even though he thought he wouldn't be scared of anything there, it turned out to be very different from what he expected. Almost everything he encountered was something he thought could never happen.
This country blows my mind. After I broke up with a girl that I came to see, because she was a total false person, even on a live chat, which I don't feel comfortable in doing. I guess there's a lot of scammers out there and guys asking for nude pictures of women. I guess maybe I'm naive, but it doesn't go on in America. So I had moved out of one apartment after a year's lease was done, and I had an agent show me around Riara Road, Gong Road. I like being by a mall. Made me less homesick. I could walk down the street, and here's a mall with a Subway and American food. So whenever I got homesick, I'd go there. So I said, this is nice. So this place where I rented Garden Flats, I looked at it. I went down to the Jubilee House by Kenyatta Avenue in CBD, and went into a lady's office named Elizabeth, and she showed me the contract, how much it would require. And right away it jumped out to me that they're asking an inordinately large amount, meaning more than what any apartments ever asked me. But I really like the place. It's located on Gong Road. It's a very nice place, and pay the money I paid, which a lot of Kenyans will say, why are you paying so much money? Well,
spending a lot of money was not a problem. What mattered to him was finding a safe place where he could live without disturbances. However, what he experienced was different from what he expected. He kept feeling like he made a trip he shouldn't have.
We made an agreement. I even had a witness there with me, a friend of mine. He took one of my month's rent without my knowledge, which is a violation of contract. And I can go to, which I have, to prove my case, by the way. I went to Safari, got all my prints out so that I paid everything. The fees to sign the contract, it's on there. Every monthly fee except September was missing because Wallo Bango, I'm going to call him by his last name, see how he likes it. Because he lied and said, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. I brought him in front of the president, Wycliffe, and he said, call him Frank. That's a lie. I said, it's a lie. And I had many neighbors there that also said he never comes to the property. A property manager's job is to manage a property, meaning countless amount of times something broke in that place, in Garden Flats, and he never sent somebody to fix it. One time a security door broke a week, and it was laying in the hallway for 3 months, and he promised daily to send a welder, and I had to call another girl named Purity, and it's disgusting because I've been living over there for 10 days with no water, can't even flush the toilet, no lights, coming home from the gym to have to light candles. I didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do his job. But when I started complaining, the problem started when I started going down there and complaining, why aren't you coming to fix this? And other neighbors there told me the same thing, that he didn't answer phone calls or anything like that.
Because of living in a place that wasn't safe, one night, some criminals broke into his home. They stole a lot of valuable items and even tried to hurt him.
Well, it was late at night and they held a knife to me one time. And I learned as a policeman, if somebody holds a knife to you, your life is not worth whatever you're carrying on you. And I'm a reasonable person, I understand. Maybe people steal because they have no money, but that's really not an excuse. And there's not an excuse for a corporation like Tyson's to extort money. They could show no proof that I owed this money. None. They're not even close. They actually owe me money. That's the God's honest truth, that I'd put my hand on the Bible and swear.
How much? And how much do you
owe
you? Yep.
Well, there's $150,000 worth of furniture, jewelry, paintings that I like, that I bought, nice paintings. I like nice things, and I can afford it even on my retirement. From the government, you get pretty, like I said.
As an ex-policeman, he knew how to handle getting justice after being robbed and facing issues, all because his landlord also took his money unfairly. However, every action he took led to unexpected results. Where he hoped to find support, he instead encountered situations that were far from helpful.
The police here, they're just as corrupt as everybody else. It amazed me the first time as an ex-policeman that I was told to pay money for some help. I'm like, what? If I did that in America, we have no corruption. We have police officers in undercover dressed like you that look at other police officers, make sure they're not taking, you know how many, I could be a rich man with all the people I arrested that offered me millions worth of dollars in drugs or millions of dollars worth of money in their trunk to let them go. No, you can't. I had a family to feed. I couldn't do that. And I would have been fired.
So you have not got any justice?
No, not. Justice. It's not only I haven't even gotten justice. If they would have just said, okay, let's settle this, just like the president did. Well, that's why at the ending, he's called James and wanted to find out about the story, and he said, James, go to your office and get a statement that how much he is in arrears. I don't know what that word is, but I guess that's whatever, rent. He goes to the office, comes back, he gives Mr. White, the president, a statement. Mr. Keller owes $50,000 arrears. Now it's $189. It blows up to 3 months later. And Mr. Wycliffe, in all due fairness to him, he seemed like a decent guy, but he knows what's going on there. He knows it's a corrupt organization, no doubt in my mind.
When you talk about Mr. President, maybe you'll think that it's the President of Kenya. Who is this Mr. President you are referring to?
Well, he's the shadow president, I've come to find out. He really doesn't run that place. He's only president by name, Wycliffe. I've heard that there's another guy that maybe ran the place before him. See, I know how to gather information. I did 30 years of it. The ending to this story is because I didn't cave into James's demands, and he said, go to your room. A 63-year-old man, go to your room. And I don't care if you're the captain, ex-captain of police in New York. It was so disrespectful to say, go to your room. I didn't even know what to say to the man.
Right now you're not in the house. Maybe
no.
Tell us, are you able to access the...
No, that's another thing. I tried to leave with a suitcase the other day with my best friends. I got a few good friends here in Kenya that are salt of the earth friends, fellow Christians. We tried to leave with just a suitcase of at least underwear and stuff, a change of clothes, of where the friends let me stay now. They told me I can't leave the property with the suitcase. First time they said I can't leave the property at all. Like I'm a hostage or a criminal locked in a prison. You can't do that. I know there's a British law from another police officer I know, a captain. I make friends here with the captains because of who I was in America. That told me on the British law, 146.9, you cannot hold a man against his will. If they're trying it and telling me, he even told me, no, you're going to be locked in. Like I'm in a jail or something. You're right, and I've been there, and Abdi is useless. I know Abdi. He is personal.
After moving out from a place owned by Tyson's company, he now lives here in this house. Even though he has left, he has firmly decided not to give up. He wants to keep going until he has resolved all the issues he had with Tyson's company.
Whatever I'm telling you here on camera, I don't lie, number one. And I have taken great offense at these people at Tyson's, especially this James Wallabungu, or however you say his name. I don't care, Walubango. He's a liar. They are like a cartel, because I know about these things as a law enforcement officer, extorting people. So it's disgusting, and they're still keeping it up. They won't give in, but neither will I, and I'm going to win the fight. I'm telling you, James Wallabungo, and the president, and Tyson's, whoever's listening, I will win this fight. Not by my might, but by my Lord. And I will win, and I'll give all the glory to him, and you shall suffer shame like you should, and maybe you'll stop extorting other people. That's all I have to say.
The solution to his problem will help the others because he mentions that there are more people with the same problems who can't stand up for their rights. However, his story also warns us to think carefully and plan well before making big life choices, especially when it involves moving to another country. Thanks for watching. I am Edmund Weatherby, and this is Afrimax English. Please remember to subscribe.